Willkommen Deutschland und Glückwunsch, if my German lessons are teaching me anything. Well, either way, welcome to all of our German friends and congratulations. It is the end of the month, the numbers are in, and before I even officially announce anything, we've decorated for the occasion. You guys probably already know what's up. I even found the German version of the shirt that my buddy Chase Carnison famously wears all the time. So this is going to be a blast, man. But last month I had a bet with you guys, and by now I'm assuming everybody that's watching knew what that bet was, but if not, I'll get you up to speed a little. Last month, early on, I noticed a huge uptick in the viewership from Germany on my YouTube analytics, and it was so close to overtaking the #1 spot that I actually said, if you guys pull this off, and Germany is in the #1 spot of overall viewership on my channel for the month of May, I will do a reaction to anything you guys want me to. There are a couple rules and stipulations, and we'll get to those in a little bit, but the numbers are finally here, and I've got to say, I'm pretty fucking impressed, because when we originally made this bet, the US was in the #1 spot, and it's no surprise because I am an American YouTube content creator, so I figured that would always be #1, and not to mention our population in the US is just fucking huge. But Germany showed up, man. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous because the numbers aren't even really that close. I mean, you guys put an ass kicking on the #1 spot. But this has been really fun watching this unfold week by week and every video I've put out. And yes, before anybody says it, we did a lot of German bands this month, man, and that probably has a lot to do with it. But I don't care. A deal's a deal, a bet's a bet, and you guys won. Now, I want to go over some of the numbers before we started and then after, because there was a couple interesting changes and it wasn't just Germany taking the lead. So when we first started this bet, it was about the first week of May, and the US was in the lead with about 25% of my overall viewership on my channel. And again, it makes sense. I'm an American content creator. Our population here is huge. It makes sense that the US would be in the #1 spot. Now, Germany was in #2 with about 15% at the time. But fun fact, Germany has usually always been in the #2 spot in viewership on my channel. There was a couple months where Finland and Sweden were up there. I think there was a month where Finland overtook it when I was doing a lot of Nightwish videos. But Germany has usually always been #2. And then in the third spot, we had Sweden at about 10%. Then in the fourth spot, we had Finland at about 9%. And then in the fifth spot, we had the UK with about 4%. And I've finally gotten like the official YouTube analytics from the end of the month reports from May. And as you've guessed, Germany is in the #1 spot, but it was a huge percentage lead. Germany is now #1 with 26%. And like a decimal point or something, but I can't remember that off the top of my head. But 26% of the overall viewership on this channel is from German viewers. That is crazy to me, man. And I just got to say thank you. I never would have thought when I started this channel, I would have people from all over the world watching this, let alone the #1 viewership being another country outside of the US. And speaking of the US has now been bumped down to #2 at about 17%. So Germany has almost a 10% lead on the US. I didn't think it was going to be that much, honestly. I thought it was going to be a few percent, maybe tops. But the US is second at 17%. Sweden comes in at third. They dropped a little bit, but that's probably because the German percentage went up so high. Sweden is #3 at 7% and some decimal points. But that's super impressive, man, because countries like Sweden have way smaller populations than the US and Germany. So the fact that that's 7% is crazy as well. Now, the one that came out of nowhere in fourth place was Russia. Now, I've done Russian bands before, and I've done music videos on Russian artists and Russian bands, but the percentage has never jumped this high. Russia being at 7% now kind of took me by surprise. Actually, before I even started this video, before I looked at the analytics, I didn't know that that happened, and I was just like, whoa. And really, the only thing that changed was I did a Radio Tapak video and a Slaughter to Prevail video, both artists who I've covered before, and I never saw a jump like that. So that's pretty freaking cool, man. And then Finland rounds it up in the 5th spot at about 4%. And again, Finland is another country that has way lower population numbers than a lot of these other countries. So the fact that they're in the top 5 is so wild, man. And all of these countries that have been watching, even if you're not in the top 5, thank you guys. Seriously, again, as I said, this is wild. I never expected to reach so many people around the world and connect and make friendships and learn about each other. And it's been awesome, man. And I can't wait to keep doing this. Now, on to the bet and what I owe you guys. I told you guys I would react to whatever you wanted me to, and I'm going to, but there has to be a few ground rules just to kind of make this fair and just make it appropriate that we can do on YouTube. So, rule number 1, it has to be a German band, or it has to be a predominantly German band. There can be band members that are from other places originally, but if the band itself can be considered from Germany, it counts. You can pick them. If they're not, if they just have one German member and they're considered from somewhere else, doesn't count. Rule number 2, I can't be that familiar with them. Like, make this creative. Don't just sit here and be like, Rammstein. Like, come on. I've seen them in concert. I'm familiar with them. I actually would love for you guys to pick something completely out of nowhere. Like something ridiculous, something really German. Get creative here. Find something that's going to be entertaining and just ridiculous. Because chances are there are other German bands that I'm going to do reactions to anyways. So don't just blow this pick on a popular band that I may wind up doing sometime in the future. And the third and final rule to this is that it has to be safe to upload on YouTube. And what I mean by that isn't the copyrights or anything like that. I don't care if I get a copyright claim on this or I can't monetize it. I mean, a lot of my videos, I can't do that anyway, so that's not a big deal. What I mean is that it's safe for the YouTube community guidelines. For example, there's a certain music video by Rammstein that can only be viewed on a certain adult website. Can't do stuff like that on here, guys. It's got to be something that is already on YouTube and that meets their standards and guidelines, so I don't get a strike or get kicked off YouTube. So what I'm going to do is give you guys 1 week to get creative and figure out what you would like me to react to. And when I say 1 week, I mean from right now, while you're watching, not while I'm filming, because I'm filming this a couple days before you're watching right now. Kind of mess up my mind thinking about all the time stuff, but from when you're watching right now, we'll do 1 week. And what you're going to do is jump into the comments below this video, suggest whatever band or artist or song or whatever you would like me to react to, and leave it in a comment. And then when you're looking through those comments, if you see something that you would like me to react to, give it a thumbs up. And by the end of this week, whichever one of those suggestions has the most thumbs up on them and is at the top of the list, that's what I'm going to do. And if there's a weird scenario where I try and do that reaction and it gets blocked or something happens like that, I'm just going to go to the next one that's in second place. But I don't think we'll have any of those kind of problems, but we'll see. So to those top 5 countries that viewed my channel in the month of May, Dankeschön, thank you, tak, spasiba, and kitos. Hopefully my accents weren't that atrocious, and if I said any of those wrong, please correct me so I can actually learn, because I would like to. But other than that, thank you to everybody from all over the world that watches and supports this channel, man. Seriously, I could have never imagined when I started doing this that I would be meeting so many awesome people from all over the world. This is a blast, man. It really is. I'm having more fun right now than I've ever had doing content for YouTube, and I hope it stays that way, honestly. And I just have all of you guys to thank. So get going, Germany, on this song that I'm going to react to. A week from now, we'll figure out what it's going to be, and then shortly after, the reaction will be on YouTube. Thank you, everybody, once again. Thank you for watching. I will hopefully see all of you guys very soon.